Alright. Actually, before I begin this episode, I'm gonna make a prediction as to what's gonna happen in this chapter 07. Everything's gonna be dark and depressing. Ayumi's gonna mope a lot. And then for the second half, Sachiko will swoop on in and bring her back up to her feet. It's a simple prediction, but I feel like that's the direction this story's gonna go for the final 4 chapters. And in this chapter is Ayumi hits the lowest of her low points for her to get stood back up by Sachiko herself. Sachiko's gonna save the game. Ah man, I'm actually getting really excited. I want to see more Sachiko because I love Sachiko. Blood Tribe Chapter 07, Determination. And I like the character of Sachiko. I like the character. Let me clarify that now. I like the character of Sachiko. And her storyline. Yeah, I like her character and storyline. That's what I meant by I like Sachiko. I wanted to clarify that.
この世の終わりです。
Wow. Oh, wait. Did I read the chapter's name? I don't think I did. This is Chapter 07, Determination. The sounds of fire trucks and patrol cars echoed through the streets. The sky was dark, the air stale, and the many strong, cold gusts of wind bore a mass amount of dust and debris. I didn't envy the reporter her job, as she seemed mere moments from being blown off her feet. But, to her credit, she persevered. Behind her, there was the black shadow of an old man.
お伝えしております。昨夜、治安当局の発表した全国怨霊災害の続報についてです。先日より各地で多発している不可解な死亡事件は依然収束の兆しが見えません。不審死や動機不明の無差別殺人、心霊目撃件数は増える一方です。
I'm not gonna lie. This is stupid. This storyline is stupid. I'm not gonna lie about this. No, I'm gonna say it outright. This is kind of stupid.
そのため各県警は対応に苦慮。なかなか公式発表を出さない警察に報道陣は苛立ちを隠せません。
The old man's shadow in the background began acting strangely, jumping in place and making various other aimless motions.
警視庁はなるべく一人にならないように必ず3名以上で安全な場所で過ごすよう、また危険ですので外出も控えるようにと呼びかけています。
昨晩より全国各地で発生している巨大な黒い柱による出現被害につきまして、国土交通省は非常態勢の災害対策本部および警戒本部を設置しました。各地方整備局管内の情報に基づく交通・河川の被災状況および対策状況は次の通りです。
柱の成分は専門家の分析でも解析不明の未知の鉱物の結晶のようで、エンティティウォール、霊体物質と名付けられています。地震計などでも全く予測のつかない場所に突如生えてくるため、多数の死傷者を出し、世間を混乱に陥れています。
Now, the writing in the first game was not a masterful writing. Like, the first game, the writing is not like something out of a masterpiece. But from the writing of the first game to becoming something like this is a downgrade. I'm sorry. The first chapters of this game, like, yeah, the writing was not as great as the first game of Course Party, for which never had great writing to begin with, though it was still enjoyable. Right now, I don't even know what I'm reading. This is... You know, it's a lot more comedic than, horror. Maybe they're trying to go for, a comedic storyline and actually not trying to be scary. Because I can't take this seriously. God. This is actually painful.
工事用カッターの刃も通らず、撤去もできない状況です。防衛庁は自衛隊の調査結果などから先日まで上空に浮かんでいた黒い球体との関連を調査しています。
新しい避難場所の情報です。避難指示の出た地域にお住まいの方は以下の情報をチェックしてください。携帯サイト、ウェブサイトでも情報を発信しております。なお、ご覧の白い地域にある体育館や学校はすでに満員です。
Also remember to follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
お近くの空きのある施設へ向かってください。
っていうか、前兆も速報もなくいきなり生えてくるんだ。避難も対策もねえんだよ。運が悪きゃ死ぬだけだ。なんで警察はいつまでも公式発表してないんだよ。編集を不祥事と取られるのが嫌なのか、それとも何か隠してるのか。
The middle-aged announcer was yelling at the top of his lungs, and in an absolute frenzy, he kicked his studio desk to the ground. A black shadow of a woman could be seen behind him.
委員長。
What?
篠崎さん、あゆみちゃん。篠崎さん。
What? What? They're not gonna have faces.
生き返らせてくれて、ありがとう。
Wait. Huh? No, this is a trick. みんな Nah, yeah.
もっといっぱい死んじゃったね。
Yeah, God, like, I want to know how this all ends, but I'm getting more and more disappointed as this goes on. I don't know. Like, I know that a lot of you actually do like this game, so I'm not gonna try to, trash on it too hard, but I just am, like, the direction they go for this is just stupid. Like, the first part, Course Party, the first game, was actually really good. Like, yeah, the writing was not, from a masterpiece, but it was still not this. It was good, but this, like, I don't even know what direction they were going for this game. I can't even tell what the direction of this game was. Seriously, like, yeah, I know this is supposed to be Ayumi's story, but at the same time, why did they feel like they needed to do this? I'm hoping that Dead Patient's not like this, because I actually do want to get into Dead Patient, and I actually do want Dead Patient to succeed, but I'm really hoping that the plotline of Dead Patient is a lot better than this. Though, I'm gonna be honest here. Yeah, Course Party was at its prime of popularity, but I partially believe this game is responsible, at least in part of responsible, as to why Dead Patient has not had a chapter 2 in a while. I feel like this game could be part of the reason, because this is just silly. I'm sorry, I'm being too critical. I'm sorry to anyone who actually likes Blood Drive. It's just that I don't like it. I'm gonna be honest here, I don't like it, but I want to see how the Heavenly Host Saga ends, so I'm gonna shut up and play the game. The room grew dark, and each of the 4 figures who stood before me slowly melted into the blackness, becoming indistinct silhouettes.
持田も、中島も、岸沼も。
たくさん。
Creepy voices.
私たちも生き返ってないの？あゆみちゃん。
何がしたかったの？
Don't do that to my girl, Seiko. Don't do that silly deep voice scary effect. To my girl, Seiko. I screamed and looked up. It was just a dream. I was at home, watching TV. I scrunched myself up again, putting my face to my knees.
生き返るって信じてたのに、最初からダメだった。そうよ。私は全部意味のないことをしてたんだ。私、どうすればいいの？
Join forces with Sachiko and do a retcon?
生き返るって思ったから、ヨシエの山で行って大怪我をして、お姉ちゃんまで失って帰ってきたのに。
I raised my face from my knees, her eyes red and burning. Then, as if I hadn't already had enough tragedy in my life, I heard a loud crash just outside of my house. It was unmistakably a car wreck, and a rather severe one at that. Your parents. The car's alarm was going off, but I was trying my best to ignore it. I didn't need this right now, so I simply wasn't going to bother with it. Get off your ass and join forces with Sachiko. I know you're gonna do that. I know you're gonna do that from the direction the previous chapter went with, Miss, what was her name? Miss Niwa, yeah, Kuan Niwa. She's like, this is the only way, and she set you off with Sachiko. Like, there's gonna be a whole, reset sort of thing, kind of like what happened in the Marvel movies, I bet. Miss Kuan is Doctor Strange. This was the only way.
お姉ちゃん。
次のニュースです。公益財団法人 PL 振興社の会長が失踪しました。
Okay. Alright. Well, Ayumi, let's go up to your bedroom. There's no reason for me to go upstairs right now. Alright, we have to walk to our front door. The car alarm outside was still going off, and it was getting harder and harder to ignore by the second. Whoever was ringing my doorbell was really persistent. The irregular sound brought me back to reality. I crept over to the peephole. I read that as peephole. Even though I pronounce it as peephole, but I still read it as peephole. Peephole. I crept over to the peephole and silently looked through it to see who'd be visiting me at this hour. On the other side of the door stood a man I didn't recognize. He had short hair, and he was pressing the chime frantically, as if his life depended on it. I was kind of creeped out. I moved away from the peephole. Just run away and let them leave by themselves. That's all you need to do. The persistent ringing continued for a bit, but then finally, thankfully, came to an abrupt halt. I slowly crept back to the peephole and took another look. the man was still there. He was just pacing back and forth in place, in front of a house that, for all he knew, had no occupants. After another short while, he approached the door again and immediately put his eye right up to the outside of the peephole. Hello.
今動いたら気配で私が覗いていることがバレちゃう。
The man moved his head away, but quickly replaced it with his finger, which he swirled around and around inside the tight space, as if trying to reach my eye or poke it out. Then, he stepped away from the door. I could have taken this opportunity to slowly move away from the peephole, but I was oddly transfixed.
よかった。このまま帰ってくれれば。
He's gonna poke your eye out. Of course. The second I thought that, he came back to the door yet again. And yet again, he skipped the doorbell and went straight for the peephole.
何なの？なんで何も言わないの？気持ち悪いな。開けて文句言っちゃう。
Could you have given that energy back in Heavenly Host towards Misuto? I grabbed the doorknob and was moments away from following through with that plan, when suddenly...
Ayumi?
Finally!
Sachiko? ダメ、開けちゃ。そいつ死者だ。Sachiko?
I slowly turned to look at her.
涅槃は死んだ人の世界。死後の世界がこっちに来る。
Then, there was an oddly familiar sound. Another car accident. Again, right outside my door. This time, I looked outside through the peephole and saw the man from earlier, sandwiched between a car and the wall of one of the houses across the street. He was absolutely mangled. But after only a few moments, the man's corpse disappeared, leaving nothing but a shadow in its place on the wall and ground alike, a black stain. Your sprite's making an amazing face at Yumi.
何なの？世の中どうなってるの？
Didn't you watch the news program? It was, a spiritual uprising, or I don't even remember what they said. Whatever the news anchors said, that's what's happening. God, Not that I even really had to ask.
私が涅槃の壁を壊したから。
I wasn't just asking myself. I was asking Sachiko, whose presence still remained just behind my back. But she just looked up at me with sad eyes.
今の人も死者真っ黒になって。
No, it couldn't be. I pulled my smartphone from my pocket and forced myself to remain calm enough to access the photo, but then just stopped and stared. Whoa! Whoa! That was an animation. The photo displayed on my phone, which was now on the floor. no longer had just my friends from before with blacked out faces, but Mochida, Nakashima, and Kishinuma as well. I should not be laughing. I should not have been laughing. But this is kind of cheesy now. This is kind of cheesy. I'm sorry. That was really inappropriate of me to begin laughing like this, but this is just getting silly. I pounded the floor with both hands and stuttered violently. What the fuck?
世界は終わりに近づいている。
Where are we now?
神は不浄なる心得物を決してお許しにはならぬ。
Some cultist group was speaking on TV. I guess the news must have ended at some point when I wasn't paying attention.
世界の終わり。
Aww. Sachiko's looking out for you. Like, she's the one saving grace of this game. Like, Sachiko, like, the more I look at her, I'm like, God, please, Sachiko, please, just get Ayumi back up so that you can both save the game. Like, I want Ayumi to somewhat succeed in this game, finally. After all this shit the developers are putting onto her, I at least want her to have one W. I want her to have one W. This time, I was just plain talking to myself. You're alive? Wait, how?
そう終わりよ。
Oh, wait!
まさか野望浦の最後の生き残りが自爆覚悟でこんなこと考えてるなんてね。
How are you alive? Wait, you got kicked down and you hit the ground, or did you, somehow have two of the Argus cubes and put them together? How did you survive? What? Also, that's the first time I've ever seen the term suicide bomber determination. Magari appeared in my hallway. I had no idea how long she'd been there, nor how she got in. I noticed she still had her heels on, though.
あなた。
I stood up. And Sachiko was, as always, waiting in the wings behind me.
幸せの石で帰ってこれたわ。
Oh.
金付き堂の階段から吹き抜けを落ちている間にね。
I didn't mean to say Argus Cube earlier. I meant Ever After Stones. It's not like anything of this game is going to be that memorable to me anyway. Other than some plot elements and how they're going to end this all, because I'm just going to be honest here. I said this probably many times in these series before. I'm not having as much fun with this installment.
まあ、天神症が壊れたからこの石は使えないけど。
To demonstrate, Magari snapped the two together.
涅槃よ、死人を迎えよ。ほらね。
I probably flinched, but she was right. Nothing happened.
世界はもう数刻のうちに混沌に包まれて死の世界になる。あっけないでしょ。まさにこの世の終わりってやつ。ちなみにあれ、私の教団アレンジでしょ。我ながら弾くわ。
She pulled back her chin and flashed me a strained smile.
ああ、そういえばあなたの親もイカれて入信してたわよ。
Oh, so that car crash wasn't her parents. Okay. This day couldn't have been much worse for me.
あなたこのままでいいわけ？
Magari wasn't missing words, it seemed. I held my head in both hands and looked down at the ground.
責任を感じてるならちょっと顔貸しなさい。あんたの血に話がある。
Magari approached me and grabbed my arm. Ooh, angry puppy. She looks like an angry puppy. Sachiko, still right behind me, began to growl like a guard dog.
話してよ。どうして私なんか友達も救えない？何もできない。篠崎の血だか知らないけど、私にできることなんて何もないよ。大体、涅槃をこの世に出したのは吉江さんが最初にやったことじゃない。
I screamed, as loudly and as fiercely as I could.
私、悪くないじゃない。
I closed my eyes and cried the hardest I've ever cried, sobbing so intensely that I found myself nearly hyperventilating. Magari slapped me down to the ground.
もっとムカつく女で、あなた等身大すぎるわ。少しは格好つけようとなさいよ。
You know, I was not expecting Magari to come back. That's all I'm gonna say now. I was not expecting Magari to come back. So this kind of throws my theory out of proportion of, you know, Sachiko bringing the one to bring Ayumi back up, but I might still also be right because Magari might help Ayumi to stand back up, but Sachiko will as well. Though, I don't think Sachiko's liking Magari that much. I held my cheek and continued sobbing. Magari was looking down on me with contempt in her eyes, but also a certain intensity that seemed more akin to desperation than anything.
篠崎あゆみ、真実を一つ教えるわ。7番目の柱、知識のセフィラの軌道を止められなかった時点で、もう世界の終わりは動かない。だけど、
Is it me or did they make this image purposely like this? I'm gonna be honest here. I don't understand what they were intending with this image, but this could have several different meanings. Magari closed in on me as if our lips were about to touch. Oh my god! Ooh, puppy's angry. Sachiko growled again, but Magari was clearly not intimidated in the slightest.
ブックオブシャドウズは、まだ失われていない。あの本を手にした、篠崎の血を引くあなたなら、ミストと、まだ戦えるかもしれないわ。
I was still hesitating, and Magari apparently didn't much like that.
ふざけやがって。
Suddenly, Magari was pulling up the top of my uniform. My plump, white stomach was now fully exposed.
クソったれの本はここにあるわ。
Oh. She pointed to a spot just below my belly button. Oh, this explains some of the stuff from earlier in the game. I get it. This explains some stuff now about her stomach cramps. Didn't Ayumi have stomach cramps during the beginning of the game? As she did so, My stomach started growling with an unearthly roar, and shifted in place slightly. It was almost like there was a snake slithering around inside of me.
まったく、もっと早く気づけばよかったわ。篠崎義恵の家の地下で力を使ってから、そこに潜り込んで眠ってやがったのよ、そいつは。
Magari crossed her arms and snorted.
ただし、あくまで入れ物で、中身は空っぽだけどね。
Please tell me that was the Book of Shadows.
生意気にうなってやんの。
Oh my god, it is. The growl that came from within my own body sounded like that of a wild beast.
まさか、本当に？ほんと、すっかり騙されたわ。私は本来、教団からあなたがあの空間で、ブックオブシャドウズを手に入れるためのサポート役。それと、その他雑用のために派遣されていたのよ。そうなの？って言っても、手に入れた瞬間、奪い取るつもりだったけどね。まあ、それも、今となってはどうでもいいわ。世界が壊れるのなら、教団の継承権もクソもないし。ただね、ムカつくのよ。ミストよ。ミスト。あれで勝ったつもりでいるなんて、笑っちゃうわよね。そんなあいつを思いっきりなぶり殺してやりたいでしょ？
Yes.
あなたも甘ったれずにできることに目を向けなさい。可能性を放棄するのは、死んだ後でいい。
My eyes began to well up yet again.
私に、まだ何かできることがあるの
Magari's expression turned deathly serious.
何としても、ブックオブシャドウズを体の外に出して支配なさい。本があなたの覚悟を認めれば自然と出てくるわ。
Is she gonna... Are we about to experience Ayumi giving birth to the Book of Shadows? Is that what we're gonna be seeing? She's gonna give birth to the Book of Shadows? I mean, if we have that sequence, I'm alright with that. YouTube might be mad, but I'm not afraid to age restrict the video. I don't think they're gonna go that far. Because this game is rated mature. So I don't think they're gonna go that far if the game's rated only mature. Though, let's be honest here. The Book of Shadows being birthed from Ayumi, that might actually make the game, that might add a point to the game in the 10-point scale for it. Because right now, this game's out of 5. That would put it up to a 6. If we fucking have a sequence of Ayumi giving natural birth to the Book of Shadows. God, what am I saying? What am I saying?
そして、本の力があれば、ミストのいる涅槃にもう一度乗り込む道も示されるでしょうよ。
I could only stare incredulously at my abdomen. Magari took this opportunity to open my front door, again, to illustrate her point. Outside, the weather was still completely anomalous, with hurricane-like winds and debris clouds everywhere. The clouds up above, too, were moving abnormally fast through a disconcerting blood-red sky. Every few seconds, a sound, not unlike a spark plug firing, could be heard echoing from the distance as another black flame ignited and burned itself out in some random point.
どのみちあなたも、世界と共に滅びて死ぬわ。だったら、見せてみなさい。その前に、あなたの覚悟を。黒魔術から生まれたその本は、
残酷と血を好むわ。
Oh, she's gonna cut the book out of her stomach. Oh my god, she's gonna cut the fucking book out of her stomach. With those parting words, Magari disappeared into the city. The sounds of her heels cackling softer and softer until they were no longer audible at all. Sachiko and I could do nothing but see her off. The entire nation was now plagued with entity walls and black, silhouette like spirits of the dead. Hanky citizen. The entity walls were rapidly destroying schools, downtown bypasses, and other crucial traffic cornerstones, and even rescue shelters, creating countless new casualties by the minute. People were running in the streets, panicked and confused, and almost certainly not much longer for the... God, what the fuck? Panicked and confused, and almost certainly not much longer for this earth. Meanwhile, in Miss Kwan's office, the black-suited agents watched in horror as each TV monitor displayed a feed from a different news network across the world. And the story was exactly the same on all of them.
会長、私たちはどうすればよいのですか?
How is a book supposed to recognize my determination? What the hell am I supposed to do? Let's get to your kitchen. We're getting to your kitchen. We're cutting that book out! We are fucking cutting that book out! Oh, where's your kitchen? Where's your kitchen? Is it this way? No, this is an entirely different room. We're going straight to your fucking kitchen right now. And we're cutting that fucking book out. Because I just want to get back to Heavenly Hosts. No, what? Ayumi! No, we need to cut that book out! I don't have any reason to go to the kitchen right now. What about this room? There's nothing I need to do in here right now. This room? Oh, we can go in here. Oh, Hinoe's room. Oh, I get it. Alright, Hinoe, let's use your... We should probably close that window. Or save real quick. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. We should probably save. Oh wait, who's the image? Yes! It's Sachiko! Please, Sachiko, please save the story. Now, let me close the window. The smell coming in from outside is a mixture of burning metal and blood. Almost certainly from the car accident. We should probably close that window. I guess we won't. There's a celestial globe on the table. One of Hinoe's favorite possessions. Oh, it's all scuffed up here. That must be from when I dropped it as a kid. I remember when that happened. Sis was just worried whether or not I was okay. She didn't say a thing about me damaging the globe. Are we gonna say something about her bed? No. Alright, let's get to the knife.
お姉ちゃん、私に力を貸して。
Yep, here we go. In front of the mirror dresser sat Hinoe's zodiac dagger. I gripped it in terror, closed my eyes, and started shaking.
なんとしても、ブックオブシャドウズを体の外に出して支配なさい。黒魔術から生まれたその本は、残酷と血を好むわ。
I couldn't back down now. I lifted the dagger in front of me and poised to plunge it into my body and carve myself open as samurai once did in the ritualistic suicide called seppuku. but I couldn't go through with it. I was too scared of death, too scared of the pain. Sachiko, this is your time to shine. The face that reflected back at me in the mirror was twisted with fear. I didn't even recognize myself. But I could see in those eyes all the weight that had been put on my shoulders, all the responsibility I'd been forced to bear.
臆病で、矮小で、弱くて、こんな自分さえいなければ、ここで決別するのよ。
My mind was made up. I lifted the dagger again, only to bring it halfway down to its destination before halting its descent once more. No matter how determined I was, no matter how strong my conviction, this was literally suicide. I knew what had to be done, but knowing and accepting are two different things. I began crying like a baby. This was the most afraid I ever been in my entire life, and almost certainly the most afraid I would ever be. At this point, the only way I'd been able to go through with it was to clear my mind and let my arms make the motions automatically. And before I knew it, that's exactly what I did. Shink! It's most likely because I wasn't thinking about it, or anything else for that matter, that the dagger found absolutely no resistance. It was like applying excess force to slice a cake. For a very brief moment, I felt nothing, but then the convulsions started. First in my abdomen, then quickly spreading up to the rest of my body. My abdomen was now spasming and constricting involuntarily. And the rest of me wasn't faring much better. My entire body was in total chaos. The extent of the agony I felt at that moment was absolutely impossible to convey. It was all-encompassing. I was utterly incapable of focusing on anything else. My lower body was spewing bright red blood, thick black blood, and an unknown yellow substance, all of which were blending together into a slurry. I was slurring my words, that slurry. All of which were blending together into a slurry that was, at its core, my life essence. This went far beyond anything I could have ever imagined. The sheer shock of it rendered my mind a jumble that I simply could not untangle. I knew there was a reason I'd done this to myself. Something I absolutely had to do, and it was crucial. But regaining enough cognitive function to do it would be a challenge. My head was swimming as I tried beyond all reasonable measure to hang on to cautiousness just long enough to complete the task at hand. I could still see my face in the mirror, but only just, as the blood that had been spurting from my abdomen had largely glazed it over. It was a truly frightful sight, comparable to, if not more disturbing than anything I'd seen in Heavenly Host. Oh, I just now realized where this is going. Okay, I just now realized where this is going. Ayumi's gonna sacrifice herself during the, retcon. In order for her to do this sort of thing, she needs to die. And as soon as she changes the past, she's gonna realize that she's gonna stay dead once they all leave Heavenly Host yet again. And all the friends will have to wave her goodbye because she's now dead. The person who sent them all to Heavenly Host will die in confiscation of all their lives. That's where this is going. Oh my god. Ayumi's gonna die. And everyone's gonna be brought back to life. You know, that is a good trade-off for bringing Seiko back. Like, if one of them has to die, sorry, Ayumi. Sorry, Ayumi. I felt feeble, helpless, and the face in the mirror was smiling at me for it, darkly, obscenely.
お前には無理だ。
Jet black crows flew by outside the window. And in that moment, a fire sparked within me. Feeling oddly resolute, I gripped the dagger, jutting out of my abdomen. And yanked it to the side with every last bit of strength I had left in me. The spray of blood gushing out of me became almost exponentially more violent. Most surprisingly, it seemed like equal amounts of blood were rushing to my brain as well, and the effect was feeling like the blood vessels in my head were on the verge of bursting. Wait, there's no animation of the book coming out? It just appears? That's what you're doing? You're just gonna have the book appear? You're just gonna have the book fucking appear! Instead of animation, it just appears. Nothing. No animation. I didn't see a single animation. Alright. This is when the game's getting good. This is when the game's gonna get good. Alright? This is when the game's gonna get good. Because, finally, Ayumi is getting the determination to save everyone's butts. But, just as I felt like I was moments from my final blackout, I saw something. There, among my own entrails on the ground, was a blood-drenched tome. It was the Book of Shadows, without question. And she's dead. My vision blurred from the intense loss of blood, and even more intense pain. I fell forward, unable to maintain any semblance of balance any longer. And I landed right on it, with a loud, warm, and unpleasant splash. My face planted firmly into the book, which was steaming under the odd temperatures differentials of my viscera. I awoke with a start. Sachiko? Did you do what I think you did? I was still in Hinoe's room. Instinctively and frantically, I looked down at my abdomen. There, I saw a scar resembling the ones I'd almost died from during the blowback at Yoshie Shinozaki's house. Runic lettering and all, but that was it. The bleeding had stopped. In fact, there was no blood anywhere in the room, and on the floor in front of me sat the Book of Shadows, not a copy, but the original. Sachiko saved her! Oh, I slowly touched it. From behind me, Sachiko spoke. She was staring at me with a docile, almost reverent look in her eyes. I picked up the book and looked at it, fear and awe running through my now clear head. Can you please say what I want you to say? Book of Shadows. It grumbled a bit, darted its eyes back and forth. Eventually, it seemed to settle on a specific direction, locking its gaze. It seemed to be looking out the window. I told you you should have fucking closed it. Oh. What?
きっと涅槃の入り口
What?
あの方向如月学園だわ
Of course, it's Kisaragi Academy. The place where Heavenly Host once stood. Oh.
帰ってきてたのもう
What?
お父さん
What?
世界はもう終わりました。
世界はもう終わりました。お父さん、お母さん。
See ya! Wait! We couldn't... Wait, I thought... Okay, maybe we should try interacting with them. Okay, wait, no, let's save real quick. Let's go to Hinoe's room and save real quick. Oh my god. I have to hurry and get to Kisaragi Academy. We should probably interact with your parents first, and before we do that, let's see what happens. Okay. Mother, what's up, Mother?
世界はもう終わりました。
Okay.
世界はもう終わりました。
You seem to be more depressed. Dad and Mom both just repeat the same line over and over again, like a broken tape recorder.
お父さん、お母さん。
Yeah, when you say
世
it,
界はもう終わりました。
you're saying it's just like matter of factly like, the world's ended. And then when you
世
say
界
it,
はもう終わりました。
you actually sound sad! Why do you sound sad? Well, you're just like, well, the world's ended. Yeah, the world's ended. You know, in my head, I'm like you. But out loud, I'm like you. Cause, you know what? I'm giving this a chance. We're about to, retcon everything. Let's do this.
きっと私帰ってくるからね。
You should probably put on your shoes. Or I guess we won't be. Whoa! What? We're getting a second opening! Oh! Holy crap, we're getting a second opening! Oh, that's cool. Oh, was that everyone in the franchise? Was that the silhouettes of everyone in the franchise? Corpse Party Blood Drive! Oh, man. Ooh. Oh, this is a part that probably came out later. I get it. Oh, that's cool. Oh my god. Ooh. Hey, I did not like that. Yes! Oh my god! Fuckhead! Fuckhead! I'm liking this. Ooh. Wow. What's that shadow? Wait, what was that? Aw, man. Wow. Why does this feel, like credits, but also at the same time like an opening? Yes. No, don't fade away from me. No, they're all fading away from me. Oh, no. No, not you! Corpse Party Blood Drive. Oh my god. I like that.
Sachiko は不思議な気持ちだけど、あなたがこうして味方でいてくれると心強いよ。
Oh my god. I want to see that again. I want to see that again. I want Okay, that's the best thing I've seen of this game. Like, out of everything in this game, that was the best sequence. Sachiko, I can't believe I'm saying this, but having you on my side is kind of reassuring. Sachiko looked at me with sweet, innocent eyes. Okay, here we go. When I arrived at Kisaragi Academy, I got a much better look at the phenomenon. It was like a whirlpool with a red, dully shining hole in its center. Was this the entrance to the ever after?
あの先に涅槃が動的魔法？魔女みたいに空を飛ぶの？嘘だ。
I closed my eyes, collapsed the Book of Shadows tightly in both hands, and prayed.
ブックオブシャドウズ、力を貸して。
Interesting. When I opened up... When I opened my eyes again and looked up into the sky, my body began to float. I was in control of the Book of Shadows. I was a legitimate practitioner of magic now. This moment felt almost like an awakening to endless new possibilities.
これ本当に飛んでる。すごい。
Welcome to my world! And right next to me, flying by my side, was Sachiko.
Ayumi.
Oh! The momentary loss of focus dropped me out of my trance, and I immediately began falling. I gripped the book even tighter and concentrated harder than before, and sure enough, I began rising up towards the vortex once more.
あゆみ、気をつけて。あなたが力を使えるのはその本のおかげ。絶対離しちゃダメ。
わかったわ。
And off we go! As I flew higher, I could see Magari sitting on the roof of the school.
ブックオブシャドウスを従えたようね。見直したわ、篠崎あゆみ。それにしても、如月学園の真上に涅槃へのエスカレーターがあるなんてね。ついでにもう一つ教えてやるとね、涅槃がこの世界に侵食して繋がってしまったのは別にあなただけのせいじゃない。
あ？
涅槃天神症がこの世に発生してしまった時点で、いいえ、もっと以前にブックオブシャドウズが生み出されてしまった時に、いつかこの時が来ることは決まっていた。
I looked into Magari's face. She was being completely sincere.
その本の元の所有者も篠崎義恵もみんなそれを食い止めようと、あるいは遅らせようと必死だったの。それが次世代へつなぐだけの運命であってもね。そうやって代々受け継いできたのよ。そうだったの。だから言ってみれば、あなたがいようといまいといずれこうなったわ。ただあなたの行為はあの狂信者集団ヤゴウラ教会の生き残りミストに涅槃のパワーを与えてしまった。その責任は取らなきゃいけないわ。責任。
I mean, Magari is right. Like, the only thing that Ayumi did wrong was help Misuto, but Misuto did manipulate her. That was one thing that she did do wrong, but she did get manipulated, so that's not completely, like, I'm not gonna trash on her for that, though, yeah, getting Misuto the power of the Nirvana, that's all on her, but the end of the world, on no one, not even Yoshie.
あなたには
本物のブック・オブ・シャドウズがある。天神症で分散していた涅槃の力はミストの持つ偽物に取り込まれてしまった。でもそれを取り戻してその本に封印すればあんなもの簡単に吹っ飛ばせるわ。そして涅槃のコアをも迎え入れられたならその本は完璧なものとなる。さあ反撃よ、食らわしてやりなさい。世界が終わる前に一発ぐらい本物の実力ってやつをね。私は見ているわ。
Fuck Misuto up, Ayumi. Fuck him all. Magari grew smaller as I climbed higher and higher, and as I looked up, I could see the threshold looming even larger. Ever larger, not even larger, ever larger. Poised as if to wrap itself around me.
Ayumi? 怖い？死ぬの怖い？怖いかな。
I smiled at her, and to my surprise, it was a genuine smile. Somehow or another, I was feeling very calm. Sachiko looked at me with wide eyes.
どうしたの？
She turned away briefly, then looked over at me once more. It almost seemed in that brief moment, she changed expressions in much the way someone would change a suit.
Ayumi? 怖いのはサチと涅槃のコアにいる人。気をつけて。涅槃のコアにいる人？ミストじゃなくて。うん、別にいる。
Oh, is it that shadowy figure in the opening? I bet it's so. I looked back up to find myself practically right on top of the hole in the sky that stood in front of the abnormally huge red moon. And with my conviction settled, I jumped in. The harsh flash, the nausea, and the wrenching tightness in my chest caused me to lose consciousness for a second. But then I woke to find that heaven and earth had switched places. It looked as though I were falling headfirst into a massive storm, with flashing lightning and roaring thunder. It almost seemed like I was previewing what the world would look like after its destruction. In the sky, there was an enormous face of a doll, and the walls around me were all made of flesh. Oh, fuck, here we go. I clenched the Book of Shadows with both hands as I slowly made my landing in this new version of the Nirvana. It was a mountain of rubble. Here we go.
何これ？完全に壊れてる。あ！
I like how Sachiko's sprite bends down to, look at Ayumi whenever she's on the ground. Aww. Always have to say, Sachiko is very cute, no matter what she's doing. Even when she's ripping open someone's stomach, she's actually still pretty cute. I'm not gonna lie, I still like Sachiko's design. Like, they made Sachiko so adorable that even when she's doing the most atrocious things, I still kinda like her.
Ayumi, 大丈夫?
No, I do not want her to be real. I do not want to meet her. Like, the differentiation between this plane and that plane, I like this disconnect that I have. I want to stay in this plane, and she can stay in that plane. Unless it's her birthday party, then I want to go to her plane. But then come back right after midnight strikes, come back to this plane.
平気だよ。これくらい。
I slowly, carefully found my footing and pulled myself back up to my feet. This was an entirely different heavenly host, It bore almost no resemblance whatsoever to any version of the school we traversed previously.
天神小学校がこんな姿に。みんなは持田くん、中島さん、岸沼くん、クオン先生、愛子さん。
Finally, she said Kishinuma. And I like how she calls Kishinuma now Kishinuma-kun. Maybe she called him that throughout the entire game series, actually. Yeah, I think she called... Did she call Kishinuma-kun? Ah, man, I should have paid more attention to what she was saying. Whenever she mentioned the character's name, like, my mind turns off as soon as the honorifics go on. But now that I know what honorifics mean, my mind still turns on. Even when the characters use honorifics to refer to each other, because you can kind of get a sense of the relationship with another character depending on the honorifics they use while referring to them. So yeah, I find that stuff kind of cool. I called out to my friends, but received no answer. All I could hear was the rumbling and twisting of the air around me. Here? Oh. Found them. Found your friends. Well, let's check out this body before we see your friends. Who are you? Who were you, actually? Can I see it? A name tag rests beside the corpse. Kitashiro High Class 2-3, Kazuki Murakata. Crushed by a piece of the school. Alright, is there anything over here? No. Alright, let's say hello to everyone. This is your friends. There was no mistaking it. In the midst of the wreckage, pieces of clothing from Kishinuma, Mochida, Nagashima, Miss Kawan, and Aiko were clearly visible. And the unfortunate souls who were wearing this clothing were all buried under falling beams and other debris, and surrounded by a veritable sea of blood. I knelt down and began sobbing uncontrollably. Finally, you're gonna just kick the shit out of me already. I want to see Ayumi fucking beat the shit out of Misuto, though I would have preferred Kishinuma to do it, because I like Kishinuma, but I want to see Ayumi fucking wreck his ass! Even though Magari would also be good to watch wreck Misuto's ass, but Ayumi's also a good candidate for wrecking his asshole. Sachiko stared at me as I continued to scream and cry.
Ayumi? 幸子頑張ってみる。天神小学校の運命だったら、ちょっとなら戻せるかもしれない。
Oh? Sachiko produced a calavera necklace from her pocket. The skeletal figure. Oh my god, I'm tearing up. God, Sweet Sachiko was such a good game. Sweet Sachiko was a fucking good game. The skeletal figure on the chain made a slight hollow clinking sound as it was handled, very much as actual bone would. It looked handmade and seemed oddly warm, like a keepsake.
それは
I had this weird feeling that I'd seen this object somewhere before.
どこかで見たことあるような。思い出せない。
Though she was looking down at the ground a bit, Slightly guilty and slightly guarded, Sachiko giggled slightly.
これ、幸子の宝物。
A big smile crept across her lips, and for a moment, she looked every bit of the part of an ordinary girl. I was confused. Sachiko placed her hand on the Book of Shadows.
ファクトループ。
Retcon time! And the book spoke.
同じ日を繰り返せ。
Followed by Sachiko. Retcon time! Alright, here we go. Here we go. Suddenly, I was in Yoshie Shinazaki's clinic. The very same clinic Nakashima and I had visited on that fateful day.
この人は、ヨシエさん。
I was viewing Sachiko's memory of an event from long ago. Yoshie was writing something in her journal.
アナグラムの解析を進めると、この本に書かれている術はすべて実体の伴わない理論でしかなかった。
Oh?
成功例に関する文献も全く存在しない。私はなんと愚かなことをしてしまったのだろう。最初から成功しないものに心血を注いでいたなんて。本の中身である涅槃が飛び出し、異空間を作ってしまうだけの失敗作の術。しかもそこに囚われた死者は生きていた証、存在の痕跡すらも消されてしまう。
Sachiko came into the room from the back. Her eyes met with Yoshie's, and she smiled.
だが、飛び出した涅槃を抑え込むことができたため。
Sachiko stood obediently by her mother, wearing the white dress we seen on her in Heavenly Hosts. Yoshie patted her on the head approvingly. Sachiko then coughed out a fine black mist, but sucked it back into her mouth like a car. Well now. Well.
失われ、黒く消えたあの人の存在だけは取り戻せたのだ。
The face on the image was blacked out, like those of Seiko and the others. However... Oh? To my surprise, the black marking was slowly peeling itself away, revealing the features underneath. Yo! My vision slowly cleared, and when it did, amidst all the rumbling and shaking, I found myself back in Heavenly Hills Elementary! The raccoon has begun! My vision slowly cleared, and when it did, amidst all the rumbling and shaking, I found myself back in Heavenly Hills Elementary.
これは
Wait, what? Then, promptly, Sachiko collapsed to the ground. No, don't do this. Do not do this. Please just, she's just tired. She's just tired. No, no, no. Without thinking, I picked her up and held her limp, light body in my arms. Please tell me she's just tired. Don't do this. No! Please don't do this. She's already dead, but still. She must have used up her spirit energy, as she was clearly drained. She was breathing, but only very lightly. Wait, how can she breathe? She's dead! No. No! 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 This is the ending music of a chapter! Don't do this to me! Do not do this to me!
苦しさ。私、幸子に触れてる。
Sachiko was real. She had to have been. or I wouldn't have been able to hold on to her like this. She seemed injured, but not in any traditional manner. There were cracks running through her body, each one emanating an unearthly blue, almost gaseous light. Meanwhile, the school itself was also cracking and breaking all around me, making an incredible noise. The roof above began to crumble away, providing glimpses of the real world. And incredibly, the entity walls hadn't spawned there yet.
戻ってる。まだみんなが死ぬ前だわ。幸子、しっかりして。
No.
あゆみ、ごめん。幸子、あんまり時間戻せなかった。
No.
幸子、ありがとう。偉いね。頑張ったね。
I could hardly believe it. I just complimented Sachiko, of all people, on a job well done.
褒めてくれるの？
Her newly formed physical body was rapidly beginning to evaporate into mist. My voice was trembling, though I suspect it was less with fear and more with confusion.
すごいわ。あなたはいい子よ。
You are a good girl. She looked up into the sky, eyes beginning to well up with tears. She was struggling to speak. Soon, she wouldn't be able to at all.
謝りたかった。
She barely had any voice left, but was persevering nonetheless. This was clearly something she didn't want to leave unsaid, no matter what.
許してもらえないのは分かってる。けど、謝りたかった。
And with that, she began full-on crying.
幸子。
I couldn't help doing the same.
たくさんの人殺しちゃったんだ。幸子、いい子じゃない。褒められちゃいけない子。
The tears were streaming down my face now. Sachiko's voice was so mournful, so genuine.
たくさんの人を救ったわ。ありがとう。
A massive earthquake shook the ground. Sachiko looked scared, so I patted her head and hugged her tightly. She then looked me squarely in the eye, gripping her calavera necklace tightly in her hand as if it were a rosary.
不思議だよ。正しいって分かったら成仏するの怖くない？幸子。
Sachiko and the blue light alike both disappeared completely. She was gone. The being I was hugging just moments ago no longer existed. All I could do was clench my fist and mourn. The look on Sachiko's face when she asked if I was scared of dying kept flashing through my head. I kept my head hung low for a moment, then stood up and wiped the tears from my eyes. Accompanying the sound of the rumbling, one single entity wall now stood in the real world. The cycle was beginning anew.
見守っていて、幸子。篠崎の末裔の私を。
Here we go. Fucking wreck him. Wreck fucking Misuto.
ごめん。いいわ。幸
You know what? Achievement unlocked. Determination. Sachiko sacrificed herself to attempt to save this game. Oh man. EVP entries for Yui Shishido have been unlocked. EVP entries for Mayu Suzumoto have been unlocked. EVP entries for Sachiko Shinozaki have been unlocked. EVP entries for Sakataru Moroshige have been unlocked. Soulful testimony from Ikue Otani have been unlocked. New Encyclopedia Obscura entries have been unlocked. Calavera doll. Sachiko's family photo. Sachiko Shinozaki. Yoshie Shinozaki. Factual. Extra Chapter 5 has been unlocked. Oh man. Achievement unlocked. Threading the needle? What does that mean? Wait, what does that mean? Threading the needle? I don't know what that means, actually. Okay, I'm gonna check that as soon as I check the Encyclopedia Obscura articles. So yeah, let's do that real quick. The first one is Calavera doll. Calavera doll! A doll that the Kisaragi students and their friends made for Sachiko in another timeline. Sadly, no one remembers doing this, including Sachiko, who simply held onto it without actually knowing why. Its shape is authentic to the Mexican Calavera style, often seen in Dias de Muertos, the Day of the Dead. Calavera doll. Next is... I'm trying to remember. Oh, Sachiko's family photo. Sachiko's family photo. An old family photo of Yoshie Shinozaki that Ayumi and Naomi find at the Shinozaki estate. As a way to protect Sachiko's father from the destiny that awaits all the Shinozaki men, Yoshie intentionally scratches his face from this photograph, thinking it might be enough to trick the spirit into believing he no longer exists. Sachiko's family photo. Next is Sachiko Shinozaki, a child who swallowed in Nirvana, proving her spiritual abilities stronger than anyone else's in the Shinozaki family, is released from the curse by Satoshi and company. Sachiko Shinozaki. Oh, Seiji Shinozaki. I think that was an entry. Sachiko's father. Like other Shinozaki men, he was adopted into the family, but succumbed to their curse and died at a young age. I already read Hinoe. Yoshie Shinozaki. Sachiko's mother, her husband, Seiji, dies from the Shinozaki curse, so she creates Nirvana and tries to relocate there, to be with him forever. Problems arise, however, and Sachiko winds up swallowing the Nirvana. Regretting her actions, Yoshie chooses to live out her days with Sachiko, only for the both of them to be killed by Principal Yanagihori. Fuck her, Yanagihori. Yeah, fuck Yanagihori. Next would be... Fax Loop. Fax Loop. A spell the former master of Heavenly Hosts, Sachiko, can use, allows her to revert time. Even if the same fate cannot be avoided, the road taken to get there may differ. Fax Loop. I think that was all. Yes, that was all. And before I end this video, I'm gonna close out the game real quick and check what achievement I just got, because I don't know what that means. What was that achievement? Threading the needle. Unlocked. Extra chapter 05. Oh, I get it. I unlocked the chapter. That's why I got that achievement, threading the needle. Alright. That's cool. That's cool. That's where I shall end this video. And yeah, I legitimately teared up at Sachiko's sacrifice at the end. Like, I know she was already dead. But that was like, ah. Like, I was so happy that she at least tried helping at the very end. Even though what she did in the first games were very, very horrible, I still have to say, I still really, really like her as a character. Thank you everybody for watching this video of me playing Quartz Body Blood Drive. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, leave a comment, and I will see you all when I read Extra Chapter 5 next time. Leave a like, leave a comment, and I will be reading Extra Chapter 5 next time. Thank you all for watching. Mikhail!
Okay, okay.